With free agency a little bit more than a week away, the crazy period starts and the Buffalo Bills are making some moves. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Billievers Talk. My name is Joe, and welcome to this breaking news edition of Billievers Talk, one of what's going to be many leading up to NFL free agency, less than 10 days away. Again, thank you for joining me. My name is Joe. If you're new to this channel, guys, please be sure to hit that subscribe button, as we're going to have you covered for all breaking news leading up to and including free agency. So hit that subscribe button, like this video, and leave a comment. The Buffalo Bills making the first of what should be many moves leading up to free agency to try to save themselves some cap space and try to get more involved when free agency begins by restructuring Mitch Morse's contract and saving themselves $2 million in the process. Mitch Morse, center for the Buffalo Bills, signed in 2019 to a 4-year, $43 million deal, has restructured, $44.5 million deal, has decided to restructure that contract in 2021. And the good news is the restructure doesn't necessarily mean that he loses that $2 million. So the Buffalo Bills are going to save that $2 million up front, but it looks like with incentives, Mitch Morse can earn that money back. Now, we don't know what those incentives are, but that's good to see that Mitch Morse can earn that money back. It's not like he's completely taking a pay cut and he can't see that money again. And this is a way for the Buffalo Bills to save themselves $2 million on the front end. Again, might seem like a small amount, but at the same time, when you're talking about a year where the salary cap has not gone up any due to the pandemic, every $1 million help. And again, this is just one more move that can help the Buffalo Bills get more involved in looking at re-signing Matt Milano, in trying to find a guard or find another linebacker even, or find another cornerback too, whatever the case might be. This gets them more involved in those conversations, and I think it's a good move overall for Mitch Morse and for the Buffalo Bills. I think this is going to help with the continuity of the offensive line, which is a big thing. We have our offensive line that in 2019 was completely revamped by Brandon Beane and this front office, again, including Mitch Morse, signing that 4-year, $44.5 million contract. And this really helps out. Mitch Morse was due to make somewhere around $7 to $10 million this year, and only $5.5 of that was dead cap money. So the Buffalo Bills, if they would have cut or released Mitch Morse, would have saved themselves close to $5 million. So they don't do that, but again, they do restructure. I expect to see a lot of this going on over the next few days with the Buffalo Bills, whether they make some tough releases. I think about Tyler Matakovic. He would say the Buffalo Bills about 3.5. Somewhere between $3.5 and $4 million. I think about John Brown. A lot of people talking about him. Will he get released, or will they restructure his contract? He's due to make a lot of money, and we would save a lot of money by releasing him. Again, teams are going to have to make tough decisions with these contracts, and we start out by saving $2 million here by renegotiating Mitch Morse's contract. And we all know Mitch Morse, great center for the Buffalo Bills since we've gotten him in 2019. He did have that concussion scare during training camp of 2019. He had a concussion early on. I think it's his 4th concussion of his career. So there was definitely some doubt as to whether or not he'd be coming back to play. He did. He's been great over the last 2 seasons. Last year, playing in 15 of the 16 games. He sat out against the Arizona Cardinals. Brandon Beane saying that was just precautionary. Now, it depends who you talk to as to whether or not this saves Mitch Morse's job with the Buffalo Bills or not. According to Ian Rappaport of NFL.com, this was an ultimatum basically for Mitch Morse. Either take the $2 million pay cut, or the Buffalo Bills were going to release him. If you look at Sal Capaccio's Twitter page, he says that there was nothing like that going on, and Mitch Morse's job was not in question. In fact, this was a mutual agreement by the two parties to save that $2 million. And, we saw this last year with Brandon Beane saving money in the salary cap, and then we saw this again this year, restructuring these contracts. And you don't always see that with these teams. And I think that goes to show how great this team is going to be and how much these players believe in this process, believe in Coach McDermott, and they want to stick around because they believe that the Buffalo Bills have something special here. I think that Mitch Morse staying with the Buffalo Bills is great, again, for the continuity of this offensive line. An offensive line that's going to be changing. Ty Nsekhe is no longer with this team. He's a free agent. Cody Ford was out all of last season, so that continuity is going to take a little bit of a hit. It's going to take some time to get everything down, but again, this is one move that really helps out the process, keeping our centerpiece, no pun intended, for the Buffalo Bills offensive line. And we know that Josh Allen likes Mitch Morse. They have a continuity there themselves. Now, you do have to question what this means for Mango as far as what if he's going to come back for the Buffalo Bills. We know that he wants to come back with the Buffalo Bills, but we also know that he's a free agent. He was our backup center last season when Mitch Morse did go out for a couple plays here, a couple plays there, and during the Arizona game. So I would love to see Feliciano back in a Buffalo Bills uniform, but you do have to wonder, what does this mean for him, knowing that they keep Mitch Morse? Now, I personally think, given Mitch Morse's concussion history and the fact that he is 28 years old, he'll be 29 by the time the NFL season starts. So he's at that point where he's no longer a young guy when it comes to the NFL, but he's also not past that 30 number that everyone's scared of. But again, with the concussion history, you do have to be concerned. So do the Buffalo Bills pick up a center maybe late in the draft, or even an unrestricted free agent, something like that? When the Buffalo Bills pick someone up, bring him in to get him ready to go. Because remember, Mitch Morse now only has 2 years left on his deal. So how long is he going to be a Buffalo Bill? Prior to being a Bill, Mitch Morse played with the Kansas City Chiefs, and he made a name for himself as one of the premier centers in this league, which is why the Buffalo Bills signed him to such a big contract 2 years ago. Again, 4 years, $44.5 million. But now the Buffalo Bills giving him a little bit of a pay cut. Now, this does look like this only affects the 2021 season so far. They haven't brought up any numbers in 2022. So it'll be interesting to see what happens after the 2021 season if Mitch Morse stays here for the whole season and there are no health issues, which we all hope there are not, and he is part of a special team, maybe a team that will be playing that first Sunday in February. So let me know what you think in the comment section. You think this was a good move? Do you think the Bills should have cut Mitch Morse? And do you believe Ian Rappaport of NFL.com, where this was a take a pay cut or be released? Or do you believe Sal Capaccio, who says, listen, they were mutual agreements. Mitch Morse wants to stay on this team because, again, he knows something special is brewing at One Bills Drive. Let me know what you think in the comment section. Again, if you haven't subscribed, hit that subscribe button, as we're going to keep you up to date on everything that happens during this period going into free agency, a little bit of March Madness NFL style. So I look forward to talking to you all soon. Until I do, go Bills.